And it is that, he says, by which you are saved. Let's talk about that. You know, when I first got saved, it's just, okay, I'm saved. Man, I'm saved. And I knew my sins were forgiven, and I believed in Jesus, who I'd heard about when I was a little kid and went to parochial school for 8 years and heard all the stories and everything else. But now, wow, this is great. I'm saved. And it was years later that a particular teaching from a pastor that I was listening to rattled me a little bit. And he said, okay, you're saved. We talk about you're saved. What are you saved from? I mean, the word itself, to be saved, I was saved. I was drowning. I was saved. I was in a fire. I was saved. Okay, you're saying you're saved. What are you saved from? And he proposed the thing that most people consider that they're saved from is not entirely correct. It's correct, but it's not the most important thing, and it's not what is behind what Paul right here talks about, been saved. Usually, say, what are you saved from? I've been saved from my sins. In reality, correctly theologically, what every Christian has been saved from is God's judgment. Okay, let's call it the fires of hell, if you want to call it that, but fire and hell, that sounds too nice. As ugly as it is, it sounds too nice. No, we have been saved from the judgment of a righteous God, and a judgment we deserve because we're not righteous. Come on now, be honest. As good as you are, you ain't good enough. Are you perfect? No, not even close. And I can say that because I'm in the same boat. And every human being is. And so we are deserving of God's judgment. And you want to read about? Well, read the last book of the Bible. You'll find out what some of that temporal judgment before the eternal judgment starts is like. And it ain't good. And it ain't anything like the most horrible thing you have endured or that you can look in history. That's what we're saved from. Oh, the rest of it is just gravy. Yeah, and I'm blessed. And I'm provided for. And I'm given joy. We sang it today, the chain breaker. Yeah, that's what Jesus came to do. He said, I came to release the captives from prison. Awesome. And thereby, we are not chained in our unrighteousness and sin, and by nature, Paul says in another place, objects of his wrath. Instead, if you're a believer and follower of Jesus Christ this morning, you are adopted as God's son or God's daughter, and you have every right and privilege of a son or daughter of the Most High God, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. That's awesome. And it's the gospel which puts us there. Romans, Paul said at the beginning of it, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. The gospel, is the power of God unto salvation. For in it, the righteousness of God is revealed from faith to faith. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now he says, if you hold fast that word which I preached to you, unless you believed in vain. What in the world is he talking about there? You know what? I've encountered them. I've prayed with them. I've counseled with them. Many people, they're not believing in God. They're believing and looking for a magic charm to fix the particular thing in their life that's going wrong. But in their heart of hearts, they are not seeking to be joined to the God of the universe through Jesus Christ. They're just looking for a fix. They're an addict to comfort. We all are. Admit it, you're an addict to comfort. So am I. Man, our bed has 4-inch memory foam in it. I'm serious. When we bought a memory foam thing to put on top, we looked at all the different things. We tried them out. Going, yeah, we like this memory foam. And I went online and went, man, you can get 4 inches of memory foam? Awesome. I'm just feeding my addiction to comfort. And that's not a sin. Unless my comfort becomes the God in the center of the temple of my heart instead of the Lord God Almighty. Then that comfort's a problem and it is a sin.